Hello and welcome to Top Deck City, where we talk all things Yu-Gi-Oh! The name's Nash, and with me here are my co-hosts Cyber and Mike. And we want to talk about the meta-analysis at the start of this. So, Mike, the floor is yours.
Okay, so the North American World Championship qualifiers, they just ended, and we had Jesse Cotton, a very well-recognized player among the Yu-Gi-Oh community, coming out on top. He won by using Sky Strikers and a very unique build of Sky Strikers. The way that he won the fucking championship was amazing. So, what he did, he ran a little package in his deck. He ran Utopia Double, the normal Utopia in his extra deck, and a quick play spell card called Double or Nothing. So the way that he won Game 3 was, I can't remember if it was Game 2 or Game 3. He summons Utopia Double, and that guy detaches to add Double or Nothing, and then he summons a Utopia, and he has his attack doubled. So after that, you've got a guy with 5k attack points. So, okay. So then he uses attacks with Utopia, and Utopia uses his effect to negate its own attack. And after you do that, you can activate Double or Nothing, because when an attack is negated, the monster can attack again, and it has its attack doubled. So you've got 10k attack points swinging into anything, most likely killing it. It was fucking bizarre.
Yeah, that move is straight from the anime Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale, where Yuma would do that all the time. I think he used that to beat, like, every single boss fight in that series. Although, it's called Double or Nothing, which is a really cool TCG name. Although I kind of prefer the original Japanese name, which is Double Up Chance. Although Double or Nothing is a pretty cool translation. But yeah, congratulations, Jesse Cotton, on winning by winning by the way of the protagonist. All it was missing was Yuma's theme, which is, by the way, is a great theme. So.
Who would win, a combo heavy Link deck or one boy feeling the flow?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love about these tech builds. You never see them coming, and that's why that's why I love when they come out on top. It's because it's kind of like the anime protagonist finally getting his chance of winning. Well, unless you're Playmaker from Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, who is still undefeated. He's the main protagonist. He hasn't lost a duel, and we're like 100 episodes into it.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's really boring.
Fucking cancel Reigns. Give a new protagonist now.
See, I was really excited for Reigns when they announced it, because the design of it, I kind of like the idea of the AI world, except they've kept it mostly inside the AI, and each time a villain appears, it's like if you lose the duel, your AI gets destroyed or something, and you're stuck in it. However, that creates one of the problems that the main character now can't lose. So every time they step into the Reigns and duel, he's not gonna lose. The most he's come to is, I think he's drawn 3 times. I think 3 duels have ended in a tie. The main protagonist has to lose at one point, I feel. He's not a compelling character, and I've watched every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Series multiple times, and in my own humble opinion, Reigns is the least compelling. And this is coming from someone who really, really didn't want to watch Zale and Arc 5 when they first came out. I gave up on Zale right before the Heartland arc, and I gave up on Arc 5 really quickly, but giving it a second chance, it becomes really, really good. Zale is amazing. Have you guys seen Zale?
No.
No.
I've only ever finished the OG series and Arc 5, subbed.
I highly recommend watching Zale, because they have a lot of fun, fast-paced duel, but it's interesting that it's Zale and then there's Zale 2. It's like they're 2 different stories.
Wait, is it split in half, or they're actually like Zale and Zale 2?
It's Zale 2, but Zale 2 is a continuation.
Okay.
Oh. It's kind of like its own thing, but also kind of not, after the Heartland season. And Zale 2, honestly, it's amazing. It's so good. And also, Arc 5 is really good. I think we can all agree on that.
Yep.
It starts out really slow though.
Yes.
Like the entirety of the first what was it, 30-something episodes?
Yeah.
It's just a shit post meant for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
just-
Jesus Christ.
But it starts getting interesting at the episode 7 with the introduction of Yuto.
Yeah.
So that's something. And as soon as like Shun and what was his name with the fright first? What was his name? Sora.
Yeah,
his name was
Sora.
As soon as their duel is over, the show really, really picks up and comes incredibly good. And the duel in some of the first episodes are really entertaining. Like that whole like school duels.
Yeah, like the first time we saw like Reggie duel Yuya.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
My God.
Reggie is the most intimidating of the protagonists.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy you call when shit gets fucking real.
What I love about him is you think he's gonna be a rival / type villain, but and also because he has like his theme is kind of like you would hear when you were summoning the devil.
It's so menacing.
It's
Opera intensifies.
yeah. What I love about it is Arc 5 is directed by the same guy who directed 5Ds. His name is Katsumi Ono. That guy does not get enough credit for his directorial efforts because I like how he reuses shots for like for effect. Like in episode, I think it was 35. No, it was episode 36 or 7 when Yuto and Yugo dueled, and they both got like possessed by the power of Zark before that was actually like realized. And you see this close up of Yuto's face as he's in blind anger, and then a few episodes later, I think it was episode 39. Yeah, it was 39. That's one of my favorite episodes. When Yuya first goes dark after he merges with Yuto, you see the same close up. That's something that Katsumi Ono really does for effect. He does that again for a great effect in 5Ds, but I won't tell you what it is because it's incredible. He literally uses a shot from the very first episode in the very last episode of 5Ds for great effect.
What I love about Yuya from Arc 5 as a protagonist is he was like very real. Like Jaden from GX, he was always kind of like the spunky happy kid, and Yuki always had that fucking personality disorder thing. I haven't I haven't watched 5Ds enough to know Yusei very well. I know that or at least I recall from Zale that Yuma was just a happy-go-lucky piece of shit.
Yeah.
But like Yuya, like he starts off like, as we said earlier in the first 30 episodes, like it's just a shit post for kids. But like after the whole merging with Yuto thing, he becomes like a very a kind of interesting protagonist, as in he acts human.
Yeah, he's a really compelling character.
And the most fun thing about him is every time he goes berserk, every time I would see his fucking eyes light up red, and the aura like coming all around him. I was like, okay, someone's about to get fucking murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, Yuya's voice actor is also really good. He has a really good voice, which is something they butchered in the dub. The Arc 5 dub is the worst thing ever. It's a contender for like the big green dub for Dragon Ball. It's just terrible.
You can't forget about the dub voices for the Crystal Beasts.
No, that's amazing. No, that is just amazing. But for the Arc 5 dub, I think this is some kind of vanity project. Because the same voice actor is voicing all of the U-boys, as in the same guy does Yuya, Yuto, Yugo, and Yuri. And he's Yuya's father.
Oh my god!
Jesus shit.
Yeah. All he had to do was voice Reggie and Shun, and he would be all the best characters. Well, discounting the legacy characters that come back in Arc 5, which I really like as a concept. Although I really think they missed something really special by not having Zane Truesdale in the fusion dimension.
Yeah, fuck.
They really missed out on that one, especially given all of the new Cyber Dragon cards that we've been given. It's like they've been building up to it.
The only good thing that came out of the Arc 5 dub was Gongenzaga.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Gong! He is literally a Chad that always refers to himself in third person like, Gong, they don't like that. Gong's gonna kick you to the curb.
Well, he does that in the sub too. But Gongen Saga, the man.
Like, Gong is like almost the only exception in Arc 5 who was like good in dubbed and subbed.
We can all agree that Gongenzaga is the best fucking meme material out
Yes!
He is the man.
Gong likes that.
No, honestly, Gongen Saga is such an underrated character. Although the best character from Arc 5 has to be Sawatari Shingo.
Yes!
That character is such a good joke.
Like, you mentioned it when we talked about this, like, was it earlier this week or last week?
No, it was earlier this week.
Okay, when they're in the final, like, climactic battle.
With Zark, yes.
Yeah, with Zark, and, he's this big, giant motherfucker, and he's destroying everyone. Everyone goes by and just 1v1s them, gets shot down, and nobody really deals any damage, and Shingo steps up, and he gets an MVP theme. What was the theme again?
Yeah, okay, so the MVP theme is something I call the theme of Sakaki Yusho, Yuya's father, because me and my best friend, we refer to that character as MVP, because let's face it, he's the most valuable player in this series.
Yes.
And his theme was really majestic. When he first dueled, you would hear this it was like this sparkling orchestral theme, and it was great. And they played it when Shingo made his turn against Zark.
And it's like, wait, have you been building up to this? This guy hasn't won a fucking duel, and you're telling me this guy's gonna kill Zark?
That would have been great.
Yeah.
I thought that first when I saw the series. I was like, oh, is this what we've been building up to?
Like the man has the worst track record in all of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime history. He didn't win a single duel throughout the entire series.
He has a worse track record than Bakura.
Oh! Even Bakura won a fucking duel.
Yeah, but that's what I always found weird about the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Bakura, the supposed final big bad, he had a single win, and that was before the Battle City tournament. Bakura has less wins on his track records than Duke Devlin. I mean, Duke Devlin won 3.
And we can't forget about the clean sheet of Taya Gardner.
Yeah, no, she's the best.
Yes.
Why didn't she get a fucking duel in the dark side of dimensions?
She's the real king of games.
Yes, she has never lost.
She should have dueled in the Orichalco season.
She should have beat Zark.
Yeah, Taya should have stepped up.
I summoned Petite Angel attack for game.
Yeah, we never got a character from the original show on Arc 5. We only got from GX and up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably because... Yeah, the standard dimension was actually kind of where Yuki and them were, but in the future.
Yeah, I think it's a separate timeline, though. But I really think they missed out also. They didn't give us Shark from Zale.
Yes.
Shark is a phenomenal character. He's one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh characters ever. I know Kaito's the fan favorite, and Kaito is a great character. I love Kaito, but if you two actually would have seen Zale, you'd agree with me, because Shark is an incredibly layered character. He's surprisingly well written.
But then we would have had Kaito and Shark can't be in Arc 5 together. That is.
Yeah.
It would be too much of a. It would just why not just bring Yuma in as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get not bringing in the main protagonists, because you can't have Yuya beat all of them. That would have been dumb.
Yuya's the best.
What is he, 14?
Yeah, but it does kind of explain, because when you see the synchro dimension, you can actually see that the rich people actually live up, and the poor live in
slums.
Yeah, live in the slums.
Yeah, that's just 5Ds.
Yeah, but you can actually see what happened if Zero Reverse never happened.
Yeah. So have you ever seen 5Ds all the way through?
I stopped at episode, what was it, 50 something. I stopped right after the black fucking orphanage maid died.
What?
Mhm.
When she fell off the roof during
Oh yeah, Martha.
yeah Martha.
yeah.
There we go.
Why did you say that
Ah!
name?
Fuck.
3 years later, I'm still mad about that scene.
Fucking Martha, man. I stopped watching I think the episode after she died. I've yet to resume. There's just way too much going on.
Oh yeah, so that was what Yusei versus Roman.
Yeah, I think so.
I think his name was Rutger in the sub. I kind of only mention the 5D's characters by their dub names, even though I prefer the Japanese, because I watched the dub when it was first coming out. I saw 5D's relatively early when it came out. I think it was in like episode 4 in the dub when I glimpsed at it first. But like back then, it was probably the first season was probably over in the Japanese one, and they were probably starting the second one.
Like, okay, but I'm gonna be real with you, Chiefs. Akiza.
Mhm.
I mean, she's apparently 16 years old in season 1, but goddamn, she got some big titties.
Dude!
I thought she was like 20.
Yeah, she's actually 16. That's confirmed.
No.
Fuck!
No.
And the 5Ds. Wait, was it Team 5D's future?
Wait, if she's 16 in the first season, that means she's 19 in the last season. So
Yeah.
It was someone actually. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia. They did a timeline thing of all the arcs and how old she is. Apparently, in the future arc, she's 26. In the World Grand Prix thingamajig that happened like early, she's 17. And early in that, she's to 16. So, if you had any fantasies about her in season 1, guess what? You're a fucking pedophile.
I'm gonna have to cut that out.
Yes! What? My god.
I mean, I'm gonna have to cut out this segment. That's what I meant by cutting it out.
Fuck!
I did not mean. No, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay, leave this in, man, please.
Yeah, I'm kind of forced to it. It's a lot of material.
Yes!
Champ
time.
But I wanted to discuss something with you guys, but some of you aren't actually kind of qualified for it, because I actually want to ask you what is the best Yu-Gi-Oh series, but you haven't seen all of it.
No.
Yeah.
So you've seen the original.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, what did I write down? Was it best Yu-Gi-Oh series or? Yeah, I wrote best Yu-Gi-Oh series.
Why couldn't you pick protagonist, you son of a bitch?
Well, we can do that. But again, you haven't seen all the series.
Well, we can automatically rule Yuma out.
Well, he's going to argue us to hell about Shark.
No, he's not a protagonist.
He's a deuteragonist. That's a word.
What the fuck?
What the?
That's second protagonist.
Deuteragonist.
You know where I learned that word?
What?
No.
It's because that was the role of Chaz Princeton in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX manga. When I looked it up, it says he's a deuteragonist. And I was like, this can't be a real word.
Dude, bro, the protagonist version.
Yes, he's a dude protagonist.
Fuck.
That's right, I said it. Okay, but who's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist? Because you can't argue with me that Yusei isn't the best one. He's my absolute favorite, and he is probably the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist
Okay,
ever.
I want to hear your arguments for. You keep like saying that he's the best. Why is he the best?
Because of his background and story, it's really compelling. Because he was born in the Zero Reverse incident, and he was shipped off to the satellite, which is basically the slums of the city, and he, in short terms, he had a horrible childhood, but he managed to make friends and grow up with it, knowing he had a terrible backstory, and he's really smart, but not in a Gary Stu-ish kind of way. He's really smart in the areas that he's supposed to be smart in. He's
mature.
Yeah, he's really mature. He's 17 in the first season. He looks out for his friends, and he's also a dirty protagonist, as in he's not afraid of getting his hands dirty when it comes to it. As in, there's a great episode where he challenges a prison guard to a duel. Yeah, he goes to prison in the first season, where he gets his iconic mark, and he uses one card from each of the 40 prisoners to make a 40-card deck. and he knows that the prison guard, I think his name was, I can't remember his name, but
There's a big chunky
Armstrong. I think it was called Armstrong in the
Yeah,
dub.
Armstrong.
But he knew he was gonna cheat, so Yusei actually hid a card under his sleeve. That's what I mean. He wasn't afraid to get dirty when the other one was playing dirty, and he never showed weakness, and he always he's basically the Keanu Reeves of Yu-Gi-Oh. He has this great energy around him, and he learns to forgive. The first season is basically a revenge noir story, but he manages to forgive Jack Atlas for the sins of what he did, and also what I love about him is that he, like Jaden, he kind of uses the same strategies because he believes in his deck in the way that he knows the strategies he's gonna wind up using over and over again, but he does it in creative manners, and also the fact that, well, he has a pretty good record, but the fact that most of his opponents really want to defeat him because they know he's such a quick thinker. He's a strategist first, and he's pretty much like the opposite of Jack Atlas, power against defense, and that's my defense because of it. And also, this is a semi spoiler, but not. But in the last season, there is a moment where he's saved from certain death because he actually was going to sacrifice himself. He was willing to die to save a city, but he got stopped. But the fact that he was going to, he was really prepared to this. A beautiful line of dialogue, which is when you're going to die, and he says nothing for a while, and he says, "I still have one last mission," which is just a beautiful fucking sentence. And when he summons one of the more iconic monsters from the series, the shooting star dragon, the line of dialogue he uses is because his opponent is taunting him that he can cause Zero Reverse again, and he says, "I won't let that happen. Even if Zero Reverse is bound to happen again, I'll protect this city with my own two hands." So the characteristics of Yusei is just astounding, and he's a really well-written protagonist. Overpowered? Yeah, kinda, but it never overshadows him because he's such a fun character.
You said, Yusei's 17 in the first season?
Yeah.
How fucking old is Jack Atlas?
I think he's supposed to be the same age.
What? No!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah, they were raised in the same orphanage.
Jack looks like he's fucking 28 or something.
Wasn't Jack the oldest, and then there was Yusei, and then there were Crow?
He may be a year or two older. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
Why does anime keep doing this?
Maybe he just has bad genes.
Hey,
Why is he called Bad G's? He's just a big guy.
It's hey, let's make this 400-year-old war hero a character. Oh, he must look so really badass. No, he looks like a 10-year-old. Wait, what?
Are you talking about Seven Deadly Sins?
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Okay, so yeah, Yusei is my all-time favorite Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist. I wish I could have gotten into more detail, but I kind of got put on the spot there. But yeah, that was my reasoning for it, because of all the things I listed beforehand. So
for me, it's currently Yuya, because I feel even with the magnitude of badassery that is Dan Green as Yugimoto, it's just so generic. There's really nothing to it except, oh, I can't remember my past, and I need to, figure some shit out. I mean, he's always there, I gotta protect my friends no matter what. It's just, if he didn't have, the Yami Yugi persona.
a Tem.
Yeah, a Tem. He, this protagonist would have sunken into the fucking ground 6 feet under.
Yeah, but I kind of blame that on the studio that was originally producing Kazuki Takashi's manga, because have you actually watched season 0, which is based on the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga? Because it was supposed to be a lot of different games like chess and checkers and all of that, but the card game Yu-Gi-Oh was in 2 chapters and in 2 episodes. But that really gravitated with the audience and the studio, and they wanted to make that, so he was kind of forced to make Yu-Gi-Oh, which isn't a bad thing.
Mhm.
I like the fact that he decided to do it, but he kind of had to make the original dark Yugi into like this heavenly like pastor of a character.
It's really fucking funny you mentioned
Pharaoh.
this. I learned all of this today.
Ah.
What?
I watched a 17-minute video by a YouTuber called Swag Kage. I fucking love this guy. He never does any Yu-Gi-Oh content. It was just like his first Yu-Gi-Oh video in I think 2 years or something. And the preface of the video is why the rules in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, like first season, were so different from like the actual rules of the game. And he goes into exactly this, like the backstory of how Yu-Gi-Oh got created. It, like, Koinky Dink? I think not.
No, but yeah, as charming as Dan Green can be as Atem, and both Yugi and Atem, the character of him isn't that interesting unless you go into the latter series. Actually, honestly, I think one of the better characterized seasons for the character of Atem, ironically, is a filler season, the Orichalco season.
Yeah.
No, because it's the characterization of the Jungian shadow. Have you heard of this concept?
No.
The Jungian shadow is that we all have a dark side to ourselves, and if we hide it, it's gonna come out. But if we learn to live with it, we can use it to our advantage. That's what George Lucas used for Star Wars. That's the light side and the dark side, and how like Luke has a dark side, but he faces it, realizing that his dark side is Darth Vader, and that's one of the things that makes the Jungian shadow so brilliant of a concept, is because they all have darkness, and which is why the Orichalcos series, especially the duel between Atem and Raphael in episodes 156 through 158, is probably one of the better characterizations. It's a really good duel, but it's kind of badly written because, well, we're not going to go into detail of all that, but I like how it changes perspective and makes Atem the villain in those episodes, and
Yeah.
it changes the perspective of, it starts that Raphael is the obvious villain of the duel, but then it kind of shifts tone, and it makes the choices that of a regular like Yu-Gi-Oh episode of how it's built, like the protagonist is put up against a wall and then like and is put into the underdog position and the tauntings of the villain, but it's all switched around, so Atem becomes like the dual bully and stuff like that, and Raphael is the one backed into a corner, and I really like the aspect of that. It's because it's a quote unquote subversion of expectations, if you will.
And you have to remember, it kind of returns in the second duel of Yugi against. Oh my god, what is his name again?
What is his hair color?
It's green!
Or like
What, Weevil Underwood?
Yes! On the train!
Yeah.
Do you mean the classic Duro Monstacado?
Yes.
That scene is 1,000 times better in the dub. I kid you not, because in the Japanese it's basically become a meme right now. It's just he activates Berserker Soul and he has to draw until he doesn't draw a monster, and he just goes draw Monstacado, Duro, and he does that for like 1,700 hours.
Yes.
But in the dub, it's amazing. Dan Green really brings his A game. It's like he draws and attacks directly, and then he draws and he just goes, looks like your luck's finally run out, and attacks him for 0, and then he goes, I draw again, and draw another monster, and then this line comes. He says, this just isn't your day, and it's just like, this is horrifying. So that's why I really preferred the dub. The Orichalco season is actually fairly well dubbed regarding some of the dialogue, but it's also really bad in some of the story aspects, but it's kind of better in
I mean,
dialogue.
I wouldn't know. I only watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series. Shout out to little Karibo.
Yeah, he is such a treasure.
He's a legend.
Him and Team 4-Star.
Yeah, but yeah, we were going into the protagonist. You said what, Yuya?
Yeah, currently, because I'm only like watched the original and like Arc 5, I prefer Yuya over Yugi. More so because I find him to be like much more relatable than Yugi.
Yeah. Also, what I loved about Arc 5 is that it wasn't, it didn't like hide away from taking chances. Like remember that duel where they were underground in the synchro dimension and that like soldier guy comes and he's just utterly annihilating Yuma. He practically has him beaten, and then that.
Oh, you mean Yuya? You said Yuma.
Oh no, it was Yuya, and he utterly annihilates him, and he hasn't won, but he's like about to win. But then Sergei like comes crashing in, interrupts the duel, defeats the soldier, and then you think, this is where Yuma defeats him, but no, he just
You
obliterates
said
him.
Yuma again.
Did I? They have similar names.
Well, they are portrayed by the same character in the dub.
Really?
What?
I didn't know that.
What?
No, it's Yuya and Yuma. It's all. I think it's just that my mouth like searches for M.
Okay, anyways, Sergei beats Soldier, gets to Yuya.
Yeah, and then you think this is the moment where Yuya turns it around, but then he summons like one of his most powerful monsters, and then Sergei obliterates it. And I know it's not actually a fair duel because he like comes crashing in, and Yuya like has almost an empty field and 300 points. But nonetheless, it was a shocking moment.
Like, it got to the point where Yuya couldn't play a fucking card.
Yeah. And that's where Sergei interrupts, and when Yuya can finally play something, it's too late. And it wasn't afraid to let the protagonist lose there, and that's what I appreciated about it. It's because I remember watching and I was like, holy, I did not expect that. And also that leads to the best duel in the entire season, which is Jack Atlas versus Sergei.
Oh my god.
Rap.
Nothing can compete with that duel from Arc 5. It's a beautiful fucking duel.
Anyways, Cyber, what about you?
What about me?
Fuck you. Damn it, I should have said exactly what about you.
Yeah. We're going through protagonists here. Although, before he answers, I want to say something fun about Jaden. He's the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist that goes through Yu-Gi-Oh! Fatigue, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
Season 4, he just doesn't want to play.
Yeah. He's gotta have to go through 5 stages.
Unpopular opinion, Season 4 is the best season of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Fight me on this one.
Hey, but you know, there's one thing that we all are waiting for. Crow against Jack Atlas.
It's never gonna fucking happen.
It will someday!
Thanks for stealing that. That's mine. I say this all the time.
Hey, moving on, protagonist.
Fine. I'm gonna have to go classic and say Yuki.
You basic meta bitch.
Dude! I own the episode 3, 4, and 5 on DVD, and I constantly watch them. I basically know them, like, from word to word. Like the duel from Yugi against Weevil.
Don't take it personally, kids. It was just a joke.
Nah, yeah, I can't really. You can't really fight someone if they prefer a Tem over all the protagonists because, after all, he is the OG.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is the OG king of games.
And he's voiced by Dan Green, which
yes,
that's like. It's like when Michael Keaton plays something, okay? No.
but like in the first season, like Yugi against Weevil, I just love it when he summons Skull.
Yeah, that's a great moment.
Against the Great Moth.
It's basically a giant skeletal demon wrecks 5-year-old child.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do it? Are you gonna fight me about my favorite card?
Yeah, but what he said was something that I've always wanted. Is because in 5Ds, Jack and Crow never dueled, and not either in the 5Ds manga, and then the Arc 5 series came, and they went to the Synchro Dimension. Jack Atlas and Crow come back. It's like an alternate timeline or something, and they even foreshadow that they're gonna duel. It's like during one of Crow's duels when he defeats his opponent, a spear goes through a giant sign of Jack Atlas, and I was like, this is it, and then they never duel, and I hated it. I hate it. Just give me my Jack Atlas versus Crow duel.
Talking about, like, when he said they took a chance by, like, making Yuya get obliterated.
Yeah.
Like, in the OG series, like, your main protagonist loses a duel in the 2nd episode.
Yeah, against Pegasus.
It's like...
Although, oh no, he was the first victim of the time rules.
Oh god.
Okay, you know...
He was about to win, but then time ran out.
Talking about the time rules... no, actually not. We've been going on like a very long anime rant.
Yeah.
Should we get to something like more, in the the field of like the card game itself.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Back to the North American World Championship qualifiers. We have I have here in front of me a list of the deck representation that was in the tournament, like what percentage of X deck was played, like in the top 64. In the top 64, we had about a fourth played a deck called Orcust. That's like a very convoluted combo deck, and it's very controlly. They set up like a couple of like effect negations. They set up like they also set up so they can like kill you next turn after they've completely canceled you from playing the fucking game.
Sounds a lot like Savage Dragon.
Why do you keep bitching about fucking Savage Dragon?
It's a card that negates everything.
So is Zephyr Divine Strike, but I don't see you bitching about that now, do I? Anyways, we got... And then another fourth played Thunder Dragon, and I fucking hate this deck.
Who doesn't?
I hate Thunder Dragons with a fucking passion. They have a mistake on legs.
I remember when Thunder Dragons were first announced, and I sent the link to my friend, and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. I'm thinking of making this my new rogue deck. That sentence did not age well.
Oh, no, it didn't.
Because suddenly the top cards were like $100 each, and I was like, what the hell happened?
And now this fucking deck is the... What should we say? The fucking definition of you can't play the game anymore. They set you have like a couple of variations. You have the Danger Thunder Dragon build and the Guard Dragon Thunder Dragon build. The Guard Dragon build is all about negating your shit and then protecting a mistake on legs. And the Danger Thunder build is more about actually I don't know, I'm not too familiar with the Danger build, but like the Guard Dragon is mostly negates. And then we have Sky Striker, which is like the best control deck of the format. There was about 20% of the decks in top 64 were Sky Strikers.
Yeah, because it has a quick play Forbidden Chalice Snatch Steal in one card.
Jesus!
Again, this deck I also hate with a passion. It's so fucking boring to play against this deck.
Bonus card.
You can draw a card at the bonus card.
Yeah. Who thought like Engage was a good idea?
I genuinely do not know.
Like it's not a hard once per turn. It's basically a Rhoda for the entire deck.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have the qualified, like if it meets its what's the word I'm looking for? If it meets the requirements, you can just draw a free card. So if you have 3 of these and an upstart goblin, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Talking about a new hand.
Opening 3 Engage, especially like, hey yo, I got 3 Engage. Want a scoop? Sure.
Opening an Engage and 1 Ray and a Widow Anchor, and that's it.
Yeah. Like it's really not that complicated of a deck, which like really pisses me the fuck off. Like to have like Orcust, they have to the combo needed to be invented by someone.
Yeah, and it also has to do all the things.
Yeah, all of it fucking pisses me off. Also, how long the turns of the Orcust and the Thunder Dragons take.
Yeah, I have the worst like experience with that. But continue your point. I'll go through my Orcust experience.
Yeah.
After you were there when it happened.
Yep.
So.
It pisses me the hell off that Sky Strikers are a relatively cheap deck, except for like Engage. But again, that's getting a reprint in the new Battles of Legend set. It's just you realistically, the turn takes like 2 to 3 minutes, because all you do is you activate a few cards. Then you set fucking 5, you sit on a monster, and your opponent, like, he tries to get through it, but your deck's just too fucking good.
Yeah.
And then we've got the most versatile deck of the format. We've got Salamangreats.
My boys!
Or as we like to call them, the Salad Boys.
No, we don't.
Salad time.
See, I'm going to tell you a little story here.
Story time.
I called that Salamangreats would be tier 1 when they were first announced, and these boys here are my witnesses.
Yes.
When they were first announced, then Which set did they premiere? No, it wasn't Soul Fusion. It was the one before that. Or was it?
It
No,
was the
no,
one-
it was
no.
Soul Fusion. What am I saying?
Yeah, they like came in the structure deck before Soul Fusion.
Yeah. So they were announced in like Soul Fusion,
Mhm.
where you could get Mir and Falco and Heat Lyo, and you could get Jack Jaguar, and you could get.
Fusion of Fire.
No, it wasn't Fusion of Fire.
Really?
No, that wasn't Soul Fusion. It was in. No, it wasn't. No, sorry, they premiered in Cybernetic Horizon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so was it Cybernetic Horizon? I don't remember which pack they premiered
It
in.
premiered in a set. Let's just have it at that.
Yeah. Yeah, but you could. I want to say it was Soul Fusion though, because
Like it has to be.
Fusion of Fire was in the Borreload one, Savage Strike. Fusion of Fire was in
Was it
Savage
not
Strike.
in Soul Fusion?
No, it wasn't in Soul Fusion.
What?
Weirdly
Okay.
enough, but like I was saying, in Soul Fusion, I'm gonna look this up. It's gonna just talk about the meta for a while. I'm gonna continue the
Yeah.
story.
Okay, Salamangreat's had a 22% representation of the top 64, and then there was like 8% of other decks, and most of those decks were like pendulum decks. Pendulums are my fucking boys. Let's just leave it there. Pendulums are bays.
Dude, I'm forgetting about prank kits.
Okay, prank kits are bays, but like. Okay, so Salamangreat, the reason they're the most versatile deck of the format, and like, if someone thinks otherwise, you need to reevaluate your life choices. Like, this deck can run 12 hand traps, some other shit, because their engine is so small, and they can work with that, like that small of an engine. You need 3 Gazelle, you need 3 Spinny, you need 3 Circle.
And you also need 3 Foxy.
Yeah, you need 3 Foxy. Foxy's insanely fucking good. And then you need like 3 one of monsters maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe you run 2 foul if you're feeling frisky.
Also, I run Mole.
Yeah, but you're no one cares.
It's a good card.
Okay.
Also, Flame Buffalo. No one runs that thing. I did it. It won me a match. So.
Shit. So yeah, these guys, and because they can run this large amount of hand traps, they will run like a base of 12. Then if they're in a certain matchup, and these hand traps ain't working, we'll just side them in for something else. Like, a very good discovered hand trap that works against Orcus is Artifact Lancia. Orcus works very well because... No, actually, the way that Orcus work is they get most of their combos going by banishing their stuff from the graveyard. Lancia works that you can discard her from your hand during either player's turn, and neither player can banish cards.
Also, the great thing about Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf is that it actually recurs Ash Blossom.
Yeah,
So-
like, Salamangreats are just they're not unfair.
Yeah.
They're not unfair in the way that they set up a lot of negates and you can't play the game, but they're just so resilient.
Yeah, and also the boards aren't actually that strong. The strongest card you'll end up with is a 2300 beater.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing about it is, like I said, they did premiere in Soul Fusion, and I bought a box, and I got almost all of them. I needed like 1 Heat Leo, and I used the 5 main monsters you could use, and a single Heat Leo, and Emerald Eagle, the ritual monster that no one uses. I played this in a deck. I made a deck of this. It was garbage, but I wanted to play them immediately because I loved Soulburner and Brains. So I couldn't wait for those cards to come out. And I said, when everyone was dissing these cards, I said, this deck is going to be tier 1. Just wait. It's going to get better support. And then they got Gazelle and Spinny and Roar and Rage in the structure deck. And then they got Sunlight Wolf in Savage Strike and also Violet Chimera and Fusion of Fire. So... To all the naysayers, I just say,
Take this middle finger and put it up your fucking ass.
yeah, but it's uncanny how good Sunlight Wolf is because it recurs fire monsters. It has the Isolde effect, but from the grave it searches a card, but you can't play it for the turn. But if you recur your Ash, you're just gonna use it next turn. And when you summon it twice, it can just search any spell or trap in your graveyard with Salamangreat in it, so it recurs your negates. So that's what's so good about this deck, is that it's not strong. It's not a beater. It's just really good at defending itself.
Yeah, it has a lot of recursion if it gets broken. If it doesn't get broken, which like you only have one negate and maybe like a couple of disruptions. You can the great thing about having the ability to run like 12 hand traps in your 40 card deck is you can like do your entire combo, because the best combo you get is maybe a 3-card combo that ends with Dweller and like maybe a Roar and a Rage.
Yeah.
And like your two card basic combo ends with a negate and some like play for the next turn. And that's only 2 cards. Those other 3 could be 3 hand traps. So now you've got like 4 negates.
Yeah.
It doesn't really it kind of pisses me off, but it's also like really admirable that a deck can be this good with 2 cards and then run all this other shit if they don't get those 2 cards.
Yeah.
Like
So-
they can main deck Imperial Order just for the
God.
fucking fun of it.
Yeah. Yeah, they really can.
Like the only spell they're gonna use is fucking Circle.
Pretty much. Or Cyanide Mining.
Yeah, Silent Mining. Silent Mining was a fucking mistake.
Yeah, it's a spell that searches and triggers Gazelle.
Oh god.
Yeah, but speaking of Gazelle, that just got limited in the OCG because Cyber has the OCG ban list here.
Before you get to do that, I'm just gonna run quickly through the top 32 and top 16.
Yeah.
Did
go
you
for it.
just steal my turn?
I stole your turn, bitch. Okay, so we got the top 32. Again, we had a 25% representation of Orcust, and the Sky Striker, what was it? The Sky Striker representation decreased by 1%. They had a 19% representation, and Salamangreat actually bumped up. They got to 25%, and Thunder Dragons bumped up to 28%. And then they had a one Endymion deck. That's like the latest Pendulum deck.
Dude, the Endymions is the bane of my existence.
And I love it.
No, it's
Endymions are so fucking fun.
no, it's basically, oh, it's your turn. No, it isn't.
You want to play a card? No.
Endymion is negate the deck.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I played against fucking Nash's Salamangreat deck. I had 4 negates on field. The fucker played through it. I negated all of the right shit. I made all of the right judgment calls. But this fucking deck.
No, that's because you fell into, like, I knew you had one spell of Trap Negate, and I don't remember what was the first spell I used.
You used Circle and I allowed it to go through.
Yeah. No, that wasn't it. The last, when I activated something.
You
Wasn't it
activated
War?
the one that recurs 2 guys to the hand.
Yeah, I played Salamangreat Recurrence, you negated that, and then I went into Will of the Salamangreat, which that was the thing that won me the game.
No, didn't you? No, you actually lost that game because you didn't manage to set up that good of a board.
Did I?
Yeah, you said I don't see a way out of this. I'm gonna scoop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but you won the other one because you gotta go first.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like one round where you like miscalculated stuff?
No, we had an irreparable game state.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, Nash.
Me.
Nash. See,
No, you're thinking of the Galaxy matchup where you
Yeah.
Yeah,
forgot
right. Yeah, that's
where
the
I
Galaxy
used
matchup.
where I used Tachyon Dragon to negate the board, and you thought it was until the end of the turn.
But it was a permanent negate.
Yeah. So
That was the biggest fucking clusterfuck.
yeah, as soon as we realized that we had already gone 2 more turns, so the board was like irreplaceable.
And yeah, a very interesting thing that happened in the North American Championship qualifiers is when we got to the top 16. Yeah, no, as we go further, the Thunder Dragon representation started increasing. Apparently, America likes not letting its players play the game.
Shock.
We got, in the top 16, it was a 37% Thunder Dragon representation.
37.
37%.
That's a big number.
That's a... it's a big boy.
That's a prime number right there.
They... God damn it. That's 5 decks. 5 decks out of 16 were Thunder Dragon.
Yeah, and also, whose idea was it to not put in the text you can only control 1 Thunder Dragon Colossus?
Yeah. Like, why...
I hate that card so much.
Like, it's tough enough already to get over 1 because it has fucking protection.
Yeah.
But like to get over 2 is just a fucking bother. Unless you're main decking Sphere mode, you're not getting over these things.
Yeah, the round boy.
The round boy.
Sphere mode is such a good card.
Yeah, that actually reminds me. I finished my Burning Abyss deck yesterday.
Oh, cool.
I bought all the cards and I'm main decking 3 round boys.
Yeah. But yeah, OCG stuff.
Yeah, we got Cyber here with the OCG stuff. I'm just gonna say the percentages of the final real quick. Sky Striker again had 19% in the top 16. Orcus got bumped down to 13 because Orcus is actually a really counterable deck once you get into the side deck and into like the top line of play.
Yeah, 1 Imperial Iron Wall and that deck is dead.
Chaos Hunter Turbo.
Oh no!
Then we had a 31% of Salamangreat.
My boys.
Yeah, the salad boys.
Don't call them that.
I will call them salads.
No.
What, you going to cut them up?
I'm gonna hack them together and make a good soup. Alright, now we've got Cyber here with the OCG boundless stuff.
Alright, so for those who don't know, OCG ban list is basically a ban list for the Asian tournaments.
It's the better one.
Yeah.
Well, not really though, because when you take a look at this, the first one on the forbidden list here is Nightmare Mermaid.
And that is a fucking great hit.
It's a justifiable one.
Like, fuck Ibley. We can, like, I'm not going to fuck Ibley, just fuck Ibley.
You know what? I don't think that Mermaid's gonna go in the TCG because I wanna say that the hand trap no material was designed to counter that strategy. As soon as the opponent plays the Cerberus, you just no material it and the board is dead.
Shit.
Well, anyways, next we have Gandora Axe, the Dragon of Demolition.
What the fuck
Yeah,
does that card do?
It was used in the dark side, as you mentioned. It's basically when it's normal or special summoned, it blows up all monsters, and then the opponent takes damage equal to the highest attack, and then it gains that attack. It's part of an OTK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Although I do prefer the name they used in the movie. It was Gandora Cross.
Yeah.
So we have an FTK enabler banned,
Yes.
and we have an OTK, basically an FTK enabler banned.
Yeah. It's more of an OTK though.
Yeah.
So that's all I have over here, and on the limited list, the first one is Salamangreat Gazelle.
Yeah, they're pretty scared of him out there, aren't they?
Yes.
I believe it's kind of justified because if you run a Salamangreat deck, you basically have like what 3.
You've got a lot of gazelles.
You basically have 12 of them.
But you've got 3 gazelle, you've got 3 mining, you've got... Do they have Lady Debug at 3?
No.
Okay, then we got... Wait,
You have 3 gazelles, and then you have mining, and then you have circle,
we've got 9?
and then chance it up with Foxy. So
Yeah, okay, yeah, so you've theoretically got 12, but you've got a hard 9.
yeah, you got a hard 9.
Hey, if you think about it, Asia is actually trying to make Yu-Gi-Oh less combo and more fun.
That's why they have Max C at 3, which is what we should have in the fucking TCG.
I actually have a fun debate not over that. I have a controversial debate ready for us, but
All right.
we're gonna go through this one first.
Well, next is going to make all of us happy, because next on the limited list is Thunder Dragon Colossus.
Victory! Fuck Colossus!
But it's still at 1.
And before the Thunder Dragons deck had redesigned to make 2 Titans.
Get that thing away from me.
For some reason, I think Yu-Gi-Oh is about to make a Yu-Gi-Oh card that's kind of like Ditto.
Wait a minute. Wait, that's Starving Man and Fusion Dragon. He's the Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of Ditto.
Remember that scene in Arc 5 where Starving Man and Fusion Dragon killed Yu-Gi-Oh! GX?
Oh God! Yes, I remember that.
Like Yuri went up against 5 duelists and they all had boss monsters from the GX, like
Yeah,
Ojama King, XYZ Dragon Cannon, Master of Oz.
The Roid.
Yeah, Super
like
Viacroid Jumbo Drill.
And then they had like
Yeah,
YZ.
W XYZ Dragon Catapult Cannon, and then he just summoned it and killed them.
Yes.
Have you seen the video some guy made on YouTube where he changed what Yuri is saying with the subtitles? It was like, Someone play the GX music. And then he plays the GX music as he kills all of those monsters.
Yes.
It's so funny.
I'm watching this after the podcast.
No,
What's next?
that scene is canon to me. This is what actually happened in the show.
What's next?
Well, up next is Thunder Dragonhawk.
Ooh.
What does that card do again?
It's the one that special summons a Thunder Dragon from the graveyard or the Banish Stone.
So it's like their Nessie, right?
Yes.
Oh.
That's actually that's interesting because
They're making Yu-Gi-Oh fun.
stop being so close to the fucking mic, man.
Gonna blow someone's ear off.
Yes.
We didn't put a fucking headphone users beware before this.
I'll fix this in post.
So they've got Thunder Dragon Dark, which searches itself.
Yeah.
We've got okay. This is actually a very good hit. It's a slight consistency decrease because the guy's unsearchable except via their fusion spell, but you can't search it first turn. This is actually a very interesting hit.
Yes.
No wait, it doesn't Batteryman Solar like mill it?
Yeah,
Okay, it mills it.
But then you have to remember, there's only one copy, so he can't do it multiple times unless he somehow makes it go back to the deck.
Yeah, no, it's a hard one for turn.
Yeah.
Okay, but you would only ever use it once though. So if they have cards like get it out of the grave after they use Solar, it's good. But they're never gonna build their deck. And this is actually a very good hit. It's a good consistency decreaser.
Yeah. Well, up next is Lady Debug.
1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Down to 1.
That's also in TCG.
Yeah, so they've limited Gazelle, and they've followed the TCG and limited Lady Debug.
I never used Lady Debug in my Salamangreat deck. Also, I prefer the Japanese name, Ladybugger. It rolls better off the tongue.
Yeah.
Ladybugger.
Ladybugger. Why couldn't they keep it that way?
I don't know.
Nash. I keep forgetting to use the fucking code names. If you wanna.
Do you want me to hold up a neon sign or something? Okay,
Yeah.
you were saying.
Yeah, I was saying because you keep fucking ranting about this when I bring it up. Skyfang Brigade for hire.
Don't.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna stop you off. Limiting Gazelle and limiting Lady Debug is like you've still got like a million ways to search the Gazelle, and instead of the Gazelle you're just gonna run like more hand traps if anything, or like maybe more traps and floodgates. Like
Lockbird.
Like you can start putting in rivalry and goes in match. What's the status on Imperial Order in the OCG?
Isn't it at like 2 or 3?
I can check.
Yeah.
I'll do this live. We're doing it live!
We're doing it!
It can't be a 2. It really can't be a 2.
Imperial Order?
Imperial Order OCG.
But can't you just go to like on the game?
Wait,
we're doing it live!
That is the best meltdown caught on TV ever.
Okay, Imperial Order.
You can just check it here. You can always check this. It shows both the OCG and TCG. So.
Oh, okay. Wait, okay, keep on going with the list.
Oh yeah, next on the list is actually Metaverse.
Fuck yes! Fuck Mystic Mind, that deck can burn!
Yeah, but like if you think about it, terraforming is that too, right?
It says status is limited. Usually it would show both, but since it says limited, I'm gonna assume that means it's also limited.
Yeah, but in the OCG, terraforming is actually at 1.
Oh, so they're both at 1 now.
Yeah. Fuck Mystic Mind. I don't know why they made this card and thought it was okay to be released. Like this, it just enables so much stalling for like the dickheads that want to stall for time. Yeah. And like this is played in Sky Strikers. Like Jesse Cotton played this in Sky Strikers because they can just abuse it so fucking easily because they only ever have that one monster on the field.
Yeah.
And even then, they're just gonna like link it off as soon as they play the fucking mine.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
Yes.
Like, imagine every floodgate. Like, most of the floodgates in the game are currently at 1. and you have to like wait a turn before you can play them. They can't be popped like during the standby phase or something if your opponent has like a Cyclone or Twin Twisters. But now you've got the Mystic Mine, which is at 3, can be played with Metaverse, but like not right now because they fucking limited it now, didn't they? Like I hate this deck so much.
But imagine if they would also add summon limit.
Just don't. Don't.
Summon Limit is such a boring ass card, but I like it in concept, but only.
It's Kaiser. It's what?
It
Kaiser
should-
Coliseum.
No, it should be a continuous spell card. You should not be able to flip Summon Limit on your opponent.
Yeah, but even then, you would just activate it once you've completed all your stuff.
Yeah, it would be like at the start of your main phase kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know-
You're like you had to activate it on your main phase 1.
Yeah, you know what I think is a great card, and no one uses it? Cloak
What?
and Dagger. I've talked about this card so many. It's so good. It's like you flip it up, you declare a card name. If that card is used, it's banished. So, with a skilled enough player, you could just, like, if you have it face down, and as soon as you notice what deck your opponent is playing, you can just wait. Like, if he's using a warrior deck, as soon as he goes in for the... As soon as he has, like, 2 warriors on the field, you just flip it up for the Ice Old. So, like I
So-
said, it takes skill to actually use, and it's such a good card.
So basically, like if you would be dueling against Salamangreat, you would kind of be waiting for Gazelle or maybe
Now you'd be waiting for
Roar.
the Sunlight Wolf.
You know what? You are correct.
Okay, what's the next card?
Well, we're done with the limited list, so we're going to the semi-limited.
Ah, the useless list.
Yes, and the first one there is ABC Dragon Cannon. Dragon Buster. I'm sorry about that.
You're staying too close to the fucking mic. Look at the audio. Stop.
I'm
You
killing.
talk loudly, like without being close to the mic.
I'm killing people's ear. I have to get some joy in
Okay,
life.
so ABC Dragon Buster semi-limited.
Yes.
Rip Kelman to hand. Why the fuck? Wait, is ABC like meta in the fucking OCG?
Oh yeah,
The
it
OCG
actually
is really not afraid of, like, FDKs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
although they did ban Steam the Cloak, I believe. Which, don't do that, you're killing Blackwings. It's their only card.
Sad and Ashes sad.
Blackwings is my deck, baby.
Wait, okay, so Dragon Buster got semi-limited.
Yeah. And next we have Spiral Quick Fix.
Okay, did that get bumped up or did it get bumped down?
It got bumped up to 2.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Like it's
Spiral does nothing to
It's-
it anymore.
like, but I am really on the side of like Farfa and Simo about the fact that the semi-limited list is mostly useless.
Yeah.
Like for TG, remember like when TG Hyper Librarian was at 2? Is he still at 2?
No, he's at
No.
3.
think
Okay,
he's
he's at
at
3
3.
now. Like when he was at 2, like why not just have him at 3 but
Yeah.
at that point?
Yeah.
If the card is strong enough, no, not weak enough to not be considered on the limited list anymore, just bump it up to 3.
I think that was a little low.
Fuck.
I apologize to people's eardrums.
Yes, we are still trying to find the perfect volume on our mic.
The only useful cards to go on like the semi-limited list are like the staple cards like Terraforming.
Yeah.
Terraforming either should be
Yeah.
at 1 or at 2, not at 3, because it's way too strong of a fucking card.
Yeah.
It searches all the good field spells. With Super Poly would be busted at 3, but like it would only be playable in the hopes of drawing it if it would be at 1.
Yeah,
So-
like it was for a short while. It's back at 2 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which having super polymerization at 2 just tells me so much about the state of this game.
Yeah, so like the staple cards that aren't that busted to be limited, but are like busted should go to 2. We shouldn't have staple cards anymore at 3, I think. Because then you can just like splash them in every deck, and every deck suddenly becomes a lot more stronger.
Okay, so what's more on this thing?
Next on the list is Dark Armed Dragon.
This is a Teledad PogChamp moment.
Yeah. So that's like a double feature. There is also Dark Greffers back at 2.
Oh, yeah.
So.
So
Wait,
they're
back at 2? No, I don't know what
He
the
went down
status
to
is.
1 in TCG, didn't he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I totally forgot
After all
about
the Goki shenanigans, he and Armageddon Knight went to 1.
Oh yeah.
that. Yeah. I remembered Armageddon. I completely blocked out Dark Refer in my mind. So
So they're bumping up the dark deck boost. Having data 2, like, I don't understand why data's still at 1. Like, I get that you could just like easily summon the dude, but there are so many like the good cards in the game have so much protection. Like against Thunder Dragons, that would literally do nothing.
I remember when that thing used to be like a tier 1 card in Black Wings.
Fucking Black Wings.
Black Wings live on, baby. I will never give up on that deck.
Like
You can't deny how good my Black Wing deck is.
okay.
We honestly can't.
It's really, really good.
ASMR reading stream.
Well, anyways, next on the list was the card that I had difficulties pronouncing for a while. It's Dino Wrestler Pankratops.
They fucking
Pancreas.
Yes.
Dino Wrestler Pankratops at 2. That's sad. After
People are still gonna play it at 2 though.
Yeah. Like
It's not stopping anything.
It's a quick effect, destroy a monster.
But yeah, even like most of the players at top 16, if they were playing Pankratops in the side deck, they would be playing it at 2. Jesse Cotton had it at 2.
Yeah, it's
Because 3 is unnecessarily much because you really don't want to open 2 of this guy.
yeah, but it's basically like a Cyber Dragon with 2600 attack with extra effect.
Like again, and this is a very useless hit.
Yeah.
He could have been left at 3, like no problem.
Yeah, if it's like leave him at 3 or put him down to 1.
Yeah.
It doesn't change a thing that he's at 2.
It would be like
It's like if your deck was 40 cards with the Pankratops. Now you have 39 cards. You just put an Upstart Goblin in there, and nothing has changed.
It'd be like a limiting Borlo Dragon. Like people only play the fucking 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, this is a very like if this would be done in the TCG, this is stupid.
I think I have the correct sentence here. It's sporadically interesting.
We just had to.
What's the next card?
Okay.
The next card is TG Hyper Librarian.
Yeah, that's back at 3, right?
No, that's at 2.
They just
It's
put on the
semi-limited.
Why?
Either they had it at 1 and just bumped it up, or they did another useless hit.
Yeah.
They had him at. Yeah,
Wait.
they had him at.
Is that fucking Cyberstein at 2?
Maybe.
I didn't even know that combo with him and Reaper Dogus. I didn't even know I had that card until like last night. I actually have that card.
What the
I was searching for the Goki cards for Cyber here. He wanted to make a Goki deck, and I was like, I didn't even know I had this card. I love finding cards I didn't even know I had.
Dude, you probably have like every single card from Dual Monsters to 5Ds.
I don't have Photon Sanctuary.
Well, now you have a mission.
Yeah, I know.
Why the fuck would they put Cyberstein at 2? Doesn't he like have a slightly consistent FTK?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you bump into 2 then, you fuckers?
I honestly don't know.
Like I said, they're not afraid of FTKs for some reason.
Fucking
Yeah.
Christ.
Well,
This would no. If this would be done in the TCG, I'd be afraid to go to tournaments.
yeah, but like, the next card is going to kind of make you happy because the next card is actually Trishula.
Trishula! Yes, mate.
For someone who plays Light Sworns, he's a happy boy about
It's
this.
your boy Trishula back at it again, bruv.
And then
John Cena the card, mate.
and then there was a Necros card at 2.
Yeah, Necros Cycle.
People only play the 2. It's a useless hit.
Yeah, you did exactly nothing with that move.
You limited Borolo Dragon, you idiots. Why?
It would be like limiting every single Nightmare card.
Jesus Christ.
Well, am I wrong?
No.
You're not because people are like only play one of them.
The only
Like one of each.
Like the only ritual spell Necros would play at 3 is Kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
And that's because
Yeah.
Kaleidoscope is the strongest ritual spell in this fucking game.
Oh my god, the
Mystic-
next card is Mystic Mine at 2.
I don't know. It still doesn't change anything.
Yeah, doesn't
changes-
people
It
like...
changes everything. They have Metaverse at 1, Terraforming at 1, and Mystic Mine at 2.
Interesting.
They only have 4 copies of the card.
What only?
But like, won't people just make a combo for them to get them back into their hand or deck?
Yeah, but then you have to have what foolish burial goods, I would think, or maybe a gold sarcophagus. I don't
Jar
know.
of Avarice.
Don't know what the jar. It's a trap card.
Yeah, but you get the cards back into your deck.
Yeah, what? But why would you want to do that?
Don't ask me. I'm not the meta guy here.
You want to be able to activate this card on your or your opponent's turn. That's why it was such a great hit for Metaverse to go to 1, because it could actually activate it during your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
So they would let's say they were playing, I don't know, fucking, what should we go with? Let's say they were playing Thunder Dragons. They activate the normal Thunder Dragon.
Yeah.
And then you just chain, okay, Metaverse, do you have any response? If he so happens to be so unfortunate not to have an Ash Blossom, he'd be like, no. Okay, you're not gonna get to play the fucking game anymore, loser.
Man, that kind of reminds me of Endymions.
Okay, mister. Listen here,
Okay,
buckaroo.
so what's more on this list?
The semi-limited list is done, so we're down to unlimited.
Let's see what got bumped up back to
And
3.
Nash, this is going to make you happy because the first card is Elemental Hero Stratos.
What the fuck?
They finally did it. I want to say this is because of all the new hero cards that are being released right now, so they kind of want to put Stratos back in front.
What?
As a dedicated hero player, this makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Although honestly, I don't know if I'd run 3, because some of the hero cards you want to see first, you really only want to bring out Stratos via Isolde or a hero lives and stuff like that, because you want to summon Solid or stuff like that.
Wouldn't you like to have him at 2 or something?
It's a sad day when Elemental Hero Stratos gets power crept.
Yeah. Now it's not that he's power crept, it's just I don't know. I'd have to think about this for a second. I'm gonna have to sleep on this one.
Yes. Well, the next card is Dynamite
No!
Dynamite Knight, the true Draco fighter. See,
No!
I have problem
I have
pronouncing stuff.
That's why me no talk about her. Having stirk. Why do they bring Dynamite back to 3? Ya fucking cunts.
Like Nash has been saying, they're not afraid about FTKs.
They're really not.
Fucking why? No, True Draco's no.
And you know what? The next card is probably going to tell us that they're not afraid of locking people down, because the next card is totally awesome.
Wait, that's unlimited now?
Wait, what
That's
was it?
unlimited.
Wait, was it limited or semi-limited or something?
I don't remember.
It's unlimited. It's been unlimited here in the TCG
What was
since
it-
release.
What was it
know.
called in the OCG? It wasn't totally awesome. What was it, Tree Frog or something?
What is Ronin
Double apple shenanigans.
Ronin Totem.
That's a real card for.
I know.
Okay, keep on with this list because I want to get a debate going here.
Yeah. The next card is Spellbook of Knowledge.
What the fuck?
I didn't even know that was a thing. We have 3 of them here.
I actually know one of the unlimits here.
Hmm.
I think it's the next one coming up. It's fucking nuts. It's Solemn Judgment, baby.
Yeah.
Solemn Judgment up to 3. It's a sad
The
day.
hand of God.
Yes.
It's a sad day, boys.
Keep away from my stuff.
Honestly, I don't think this is a bad thing.
Yeah. Finally.
I don't know if someone's willing to pay half his life points 3 times and then you just...
Wait, what the fuck is Solemn Warning at?
Soul Warning
It's
is
at
a 1.
Yeah, in the OCG.
I have
TCG.
no idea.
Yeah, now I'm talking about the OCG.
It's unlimited.
It's Warning Unlimited in the OCG.
Yes, it's at 3.
I don't believe you. I'm gonna look this up.
Are you telling me that every single fucking Solemn card in the OCG is at 3?
You calling me a liar?
I am calling you a liar.
Well, let's find this out.
Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! Fandom, we've got it.
Unlimited OCG.
Are you fucking serious?
That is amazing.
No, I refuse to fucking believe this.
I set 5 pass. You flip up the 2 warnings, that's 4,000, and then you can just cut the rest down half. But what's that really doing?
Your opponent
Killing yourself?
Counter fairies busted.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. Wow, that
Why?
No, wait. Like a Isn't there a monster card that gives you life points when you activate spell cards? Or trap cards?
No, there is a pendulum monster that has the ability to not force you to pay cost.
yeah, wasn't it like guiding
Yeah.
Ariadne?
Guiding Ariadne. You don't have to pay life point cost when you activate counter traps.
My God, using that with Cyberstein.
I think I want to make counter fairs
No,
again.
counter traps.
Oh yeah.
Cyberstein is apparently a counter trap.
For me, it is. I have my dreams.
I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm gonna make my counter fairy deck again. I'm just gonna go into the background.
No,
I'm
get
just-
back here.
I'm just gonna move to Japan, get a scholarship real quick.
Well, I speak some Japanese. I think I might be able to save myself.
Hashtag humble flex.
Yes, it's a very humble flex.
Well,
Next
it is kind of true. You can make a whole turn in Japanese.
Yeah, I've had a whole duel with a friend of mine in Japanese. It
Oh,
was
God.
amazing. We threw our voices out.
What's the
What?
next,
Did one of you summon Blue Eyes?
What's the next card?
No, I summoned Blue Eyes and then I summoned Obelisk. So yeah, I couldn't speak the next day.
So you did a reverse Kaiba.
No, I sacrificed God.
Oh God.
Okay, let's check the next card.
The next card is Ceasefire.
Are you OCG? What happened?
They're
Who
not
hurt
afraid
you?
of FDK.
No, it's the fact that this got released off the ban list. Like, who hurt you? Who forced you to limit totally awesome Spellbook of Knowledge and fucking Ceasefire?
You know what? If I worked at a ban list, like if I worked at Konami, I'd do the most weirdest things just to see the reactions of it.
Yeah, like
What?
when they did the fucking Snatch Steal thing in 2014.
Yeah.
Well, would you just go like into me and be like, yeah, let's put Fiber Jar on 3 again?
You know what I do? This is what I wrote down. I wanted a debate for this. If I worked at Konami and I was in charge of a ban list,
Yeah, the OCG ban list segment is officially over.
yeah, the
Okay.
OCG ban
Yeah,
list is
it's
officially
done.
over. If I was at Konami right now and we were releasing a new TCG ban list, you know what I would do? I would put Pot of Greed at 1.
Thank you.
No.
Thank
No.
you.
I want
Thank
to
you.
hear your thoughts on this.
Cyber.
Yes.
Cyber, shut the fuck up.
No.
You're giving Sky Strikers more fuel!
I love Pot of Greed, and you can't take it away from me.
Like, I am on the opinion that Pot of Greed should never get off this fucking list.
No, when you think about it, when it's like one time when we were playing for fun, I used to use Pot of Greed at 3, and there was one time I activated one Pot of Greed and drew the other 2.
It was not just one time. You would do this fucking thing every time that I do with Allure of Darkness.
Yeah,
I
but-
activate Pot of Greed.
Honestly, I think the card that I would never bring back is Graceful Charity.
Oh yeah, fair. Graceful Charity is actually better than
It's
Pot of
better.
Oh yeah. Nowadays it's actually better. Like
Yeah.
it used like
Greed. Back in the day,
back in the day it was like a
Yeah, but even though back in the day, if you would use a Graceful Charity and one of the cards you drew was a Monster Reborn,
Oh my.
and you would just discard your Blue Eyes that you just drew off it or had in your
yeah.
hand.
like I
Dark
am a,
Magician.
I would.
Graceful Charity is weirdly a great control card.
Yeah. I would never put Pot of Greed at any number except 0.
No, I would do it just to see the reactions of it. I can imagine an emergency ban list would just
Yes.
fly it on, but
Yep.
Yes.
But like
I would just want to see the reactions.
The
yeah, but
left-
like didn't you like make like a Pot of Greed card but with a cost?
Did I?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
like
Yeah, you
put your life drop your life point.
Yeah. No, that was a theory of mine. It was that life points in Yu-Gi-Oh really don't matter, and I said that if a card would be released that would drop you down to like a single life point or to 10 or 100, if it was like make your life point become 100, draw 2 cards, it would be run at 3 in every single deck.
But wouldn't people just play emergency provision with it?
No.
Or like Dian Kato to gain life points again to use it again.
No, people wouldn't play like increased life point
Oh.
and increased life point cards. They would more just use this card in tandem with like the
Combo.
No, the negate decks.
Ah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then someone plays Sparks.
Oh.
Hey, yo, a left arm offering for Pot of Greed. Left
Yeah.
arming for Upstart.
Yeah. You know what? I was also like, I made an errata version of Card of Sanctity because it's like really trash in real life.
Oh yeah.
But if it would be an errata, you'd have to play it at the start of your main phase. You would have to have 3 or more cards in your hand, and your opponent would have to have 2 or less. And then both players could draw until they had 6. And then you couldn't like add or draw more cards for the remainder of the turn. I know it's just like, is that more shitty? But I just want to see a version of that card which lets you draw until you have 6.
Yeah, I think if that would be released, it would be more like a last resort of some kind.
Okay. What other debates did you have?
Oh, I have something here. I wrote it
Pulls
down.
up a list.
Wait, do you have a script?
I have a scroll.
It
here.
is Steven Crowder time, boys.
No, no. Here's a debate that we've all had. So you're gonna be ready for this. Desires at 2 or at 3, and why? This isn't a ban list discussion. I'm talking about when you put Pot of Desires in your deck. Do you run it at 2 or do you run it at 3?
I run it at 2.
We all run it at 2.
Yeah, but sometimes, like, you put it at 3 in one deck, didn't you?
I put it at 3 in Prank Kids at one time
Mhm.
because it was mainly because I didn't find the 40th card, but I didn't mind having it as my 40th card if I didn't have anything else. Because, like, Prank Kids is... That's because Prank Kids is a deck that can really afford having it, like, at 3. Because you run, like, 3 copies of every single fucking card in your deck.
Yeah.
So you can afford to have all that amount banished. But the thing about running Desires at 2, and at 3, sorry, is that you increase your chance of opening like multiples of it. If you open 2 Desires, that just pisses me off. I'd rather have a combo piece than have Desires.
Yeah, and also like imagine with my deck, I do not necessarily run 3 copies of everything, so having 2 Desires is like a meh. Because like I have the chance of banishing like the first combo card to do something.
I'm one of the more out there, like, I don't run Desires in any competitive deck I've ever made for a tournament. It's not that I don't like the card, I like it in concept, and I've put it in I've put it in decks. I had it in an Ultrageist deck, and I also, I think I put it in Predator Plants, but at the end of the day, I build my decks at 40. It's always a straight 40, unless it's unless a situation comes up where I just can't remove a card. It's just if it hits 42 or 3, I can live with it, but I can't live with it if it's at 45. So having a Desires, realizing that I have 3 of them now. If I make it at 40 and the 3 of the 40 cards are 3 Desires, that's 37 cards, and then I use one of them, I'm practically getting rid of the strategy I'm trying to make here. That's why I don't run Desires. I'm not saying it's a bad card. It's a really good card, but if I ever run it, I only run it at 2.
Pot of Desires really is only good in context of what deck you're using.
Yeah.
Especially like in Pendulums. Pendulums can afford of running like 3 Desires because, again, your deck mostly centers around having 3 copies of all the Electromite Turbo cards and all of your like negate cards. Like in Endymions, I'm running 3 of, the Jackal King, I'm running 3 Endymions, I'm running 3 of basically everything except the field spells. I mean, sure, I have Garnets in there, and I have like that 1 Zephyr Divine Strike, which it sucks to lose that, but I can live without it because I consistently put out 3 to 4 negates.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Pot of Desires is a -9 card.
I'm going to throw you out this fucking window.
Yeah, something. And also, what I wanted to discuss with you is something that I look so much forward to is the new Battles of Legend thing, because Kite Drake's coming, baby.
Yeah.
You.
The high speedroid Kite Drake and the speedroid Link Monster, they're coming. I've been waiting for this card for so long.
It's time to get roided up, boys.
Yeah, it's a really good card, and also I've been waiting for those Vision Hero cards ever since I read the goddamn GX manga.
Like, these speedrun monsters, aren't they like only good for speedruns, or are they just generically good?
The Link Monster is only a speedroid deck,
okay.
But Kite Drake is, he's a high speedroid, and it's a really good card, but it does have requirements of it. It has to be a wind machine tuner, so it kind of falls into speedroids.
Okay.
Like I can't think of a wind machine tuner right now except like what Turbo Synchron.
Okay. After
The
this,
Turbo Boy.
after this, I actually have like 2 debates of my own that I want to bring up.
Okay, bring it.
Okay, right now. All right. This is something that was brought to my attention by Farfa. Let's just go with the first one. Abyss Dweller should be banned.
Abyss Dweller.
Abyss Dweller should be banned. The reasoning for Abyss Dweller to be banned is because, as a quick effect, you can shut down the graveyard for the rest of the turn.
This is speaking from a bias standpoint because I used Abyss Dweller to win a game against an Orcus deck. So
Like the Salomon grade option to win against Thunder Dragons is just put out Dweller, win. Literally that fucking meme template you played. Salomon grade combo tutorial.
Yeah.
Summon Dweller, win lol.
yeah, I really have to put that template online. It's such a fun template to play with.
Fucking like
It's like step 1 Gazelle, step 2 win. And also I love how we changed it, like the Blue Eyes guide. No, Brick Eyes guide. Step 1 draw Blue Eyes, step 2 lose.
oh yeah, so like it's such a it's a generic rank 4. The only thing you need is 2 level 4s.
Yeah.
And you can, and again, this is a quick effect. You can, if you know what deck you're playing against, which like most of the time you're going to do, you could just activate this during the standby phase.
Yeah, and also it wouldn't do anything to put it at 1 because you never run more than 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Abyss Dweller is kind of, in my opinion, it's like a necessary evil. It's a good side deck option, but I wish it was just a side deck option.
Yeah.
You know what would be interesting for the game actually, if there were cards specifically designed as side deck cards. Like you can only put this card in your deck. Like you can only use this card in game 2.
Oh.
Yeah, like having that clause on it.
Yeah, like I think that would make Abyss Dweller a more reliable card if it was like, shit, I'm playing against this deck and I lost. Now I have to put Dweller in so I can stand a chance.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So then you would probably win, and then your opponent gets the die roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets the gets the choice and gets to go first.
Yeah.
That's actually that's an interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
I've been sitting on this idea for a while.
When
And now you get to speak.
It's literally like when your friend put out a good roast. How long do you have to think about that one? I'd
don't
rather
want-
not say.
Yeah, you don't want to know, man. Nah, my best friend and I, we really try to discuss sometimes how to, I don't want to say fix Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's not because the game is broken. It's just that it becomes in some sort of boring state where it's just like turn 1, you either win or lose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
And-
the games don't last more than 2 turns.
Yeah, and we've been thinking about it, and then I realized this, that if some cards right now would be errata to side deck only, and some cards would be specifically designed to be side deck options, I think that would not only like make the game more counter active, but I also think that would make like for a great it's a great way to make you actually think and evaluate what you're playing, and so it becomes more of a chess match.
Cyber, what do you think about the Dweller?
He can die in hell.
Am I the only one defending that card?
Yes.
Jesus.
Okay, and the second debate. Red Reboot should be banned.
Didn't you just say you wanted to put that in your Endymion deck?
Yeah,
See,
didn't you?
I do, and that's because the card is busted.
Yeah.
Like, instead of making this card, Konami should have made like better background removal, because the only real thing we've got is Twin Twisters and Cosmic Cyclone.
I don't know. Have you ever rebooted a red reboot?
No.
That was a hard thing to say. I did it at the locals we sometimes go at.
Yeah.
And he flipped it up and I used it from my hand. So
I dark bribe your dark bribe, bitch.
no, I like red reboot because of the fact that it allows you to go through your turn more or less, but it's really unfair against like if you're going up against a trap heavy deck.
Yeah, which is like exactly the deck you would side this in against.
Yo, dude, just bring back Heavy Storm at 1.
Yeah, but for me, red reboot it's another one of those like contenders for a side deck card.
Yeah, it is. It is actually a card that you would side deck, but not main deck.
Yeah, but but like, you know, the only decks you would side red reboot in against is against the trap heavy decks, and they don't get to play after you've activated the fucking card.
I know.
Like, because this shuts off all trap activations from your opponent for the rest of the turn.
Yeah.
Like, sure, they get to set a trap for the next turn, but there is no next turn.
I think it's really funny that the traps really fell out of the game, and then Konami made a trap like this, and somehow traps weren't really traps anymore. They just became playable from the hand, which removes the fact that they were actually a trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't like that. You know what you can never do in a Yu-Gi-Oh game ever again? Bluff.
Yeah.
You can't anymore. Like, I remember this very vividly when I was a kid. I pulled the same move that Yugi did against Mai in Duelist Kingdom. My friend knew that I had a Mirror Force in my deck. I actually had the original Mirror Force. Like, it's probably worth a lot of money now, but I did have it. He knew I had it, and he also knew that I had it in my hand because at one point in the duel, I actually kind of dropped it. It was a slippery moment. I dropped my hand.
Oh, okay.
Whoops.
So he could see the cards in my hand, and he had kind of had me against the wall, and I had 2 cards in my hand, and then I drew the third. I set a card, and then I said just attack. I just said, okay, I placed this face down and ended my turn, and then said just attack me for game. And he thought I had the Mirror Force face down, so he didn't.
So you kind of pulled a Weevil on him.
What do you mean?
Attack now with any of them, with any of these monsters, and you instantly activate my trap card.
Well, yeah, but I just told him to attack. Well, no, Weevil did have a trap. Yugi snared it. I didn't have a trap. I didn't place my Mirror Force face down. So, no, sorry, I'm getting these stories mixed together. He knew I had a Mirror Force in my deck. I didn't have it in my hand. That was I dropped it in another duel. That was.
Oh, okay.
So I completely mixed those stories.
So that's how he knew.
Yeah.
So you just baited him with the, hey, attack for game, the bluff.
Yeah, and then I drew like and the card I had in my hand was Monster Reborn, but I didn't want to play because I think I had Blue Eyes in my graveyard, but he had something stronger than that on the field. Like
Red Eyes?
No, he had boosted something.
Did you just say Red Eyes is stronger than Blue Eyes?
Black Minute. No, wait.
Did you just...
Black Skull Dragon, there we go.
No, he had some card and he had boosted it up to like 3,500. And then there was a literal top deck where I drew a Dark Hole, and then I just played my Monster Reborn.
I want to highlight the moment that Cyber just said that Red Eyes is stronger than fucking
You forget
Blue Eyes.
that Blue Eyes brings victory, Red Eyes only brings the potential. That's in the lore.
Bruh, you can literally use Red Eyes to do a spell card OTK.
Yeah, but you do realize that Red Eyes, you draw that thing, you think, oh, I can potentially win. No, you can't.
Dude, shut up. I like Red Eyes. You can't stop me from that.
Do you know what Blue Eyes have? They have Traded. They discard their Blue Eyes. Do you know what Red Eyes have? They have Sacred Sword of Seven Stars. It fucking banishes it.
No, they have that.
They have an in-archetype draw spell.
Yeah, what was it called? Cards of Red Stone.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good card.
Yeah.
But
Dude, they have legit a Red Eyes fusion.
yeah, but
Yeah, and,
that is
it shuts off your turn.
yeah,
for
it's a pretty bad card design. It's a glass cannon.
Do Red Eyes have Bingo Machine Go? Didn't fucking think so, no.
You know what they should have kept? They should have kept the Go-Go.
Yeah.
In the OCG, it was Bingo Machine Go-Go.
Yeah.
I love that name.
Activate Go-Go?
Oh no, I gotta go.
I have
Go
also...
away.
That's all I can do. Bye.
So I only have a few more of these left. It was like, how many hand traps should you actually run when creating a deck?
Like,
I know it depends on the deck, but in your mind, do you have like a preferred number of actual hand traps depending on what hand traps they are?
like hand trap, just like specific hand trap monsters, or just overall?
Just overall.
I think you should always run at least 6.
6.
Those being Ash and Veiler.
Ash and Veiler, yes. And then you have the
Yeah.
option of like, if you can
Infinite.
afford them, Phantasma and...
Infinite
and
Permanence.
yeah.
you should always run Ash because it's the best hand trap
in the game.
in the game. Well, arguable against Phantasme, but like I don't know.
But Effect Veiler is so versatile because it's not a hard once per turn, and it doesn't have the clause of you don't have to control anything.
Yeah.
So you can just
Yeah.
drop that thing.
Yeah, but like again, you can also do that with impermanence. And the benefit of using impermanence over Veiler is that you can just set it
Yeah.
and then use because
I
Veiler
like how
only-
impermanence rewards you for playing it as an actual trap.
Yeah. So, like, impermanence is better than Veiler in every way, every shape and form, except for the once per turn thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, so you should always run impermanence over Veiler. So, like, if you're a budget player, you should always run like 3 Ash, 3 Veiler.
Mm-hmm.
If you can bump up, your budget, you should try and get those 3 impermanences. You should 6 is always the minimum. But when you start like running decks with like small engines, you go up to 9 and 12.
Yeah, like Salomon grids.
Yeah. But like with pendulums can't really run hand traps because
They can't afford to have them because you really need to see all of the other cards.
yes. Like you need to be able to turbo into Electromite, and you need to be able to have like shit in your hand to pendulum someone out. So if you're drawing hand traps, you're essentially just you're not doing your combo to the fullest potential because pendulums aren't like a deck that I have these 3 cards I can do this combo. You have to like draw your hand and you have to play your hand out.
Here's a card that I wanted to ask you about. I don't know if you actually run it in your Endymion. I doubt that you do, but would you consider using this card? Because it's for the rest of the turn. And so you could just play it at the end of the turn. Like, read it. It's called Pendulum Halt.
3 more face-up pendulums with different names in your extra deck. Draw 2. You cannot add cards from your deck to your hand for the rest of the turn after this card resolves.
Would you run this?
Wait a fucking minute.
It's for the rest of the turn. So
Wait, and what set did this come?
dual power, I believe. I actually have one.
Ooh.
See, because it says you cannot add cards from the deck to your hand for the rest of the turn,
Yep.
so you can just play through your combo, and if you see one of these, you know it's an instant draw 2.
No, basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna summon Electromite, use all of his effects, and then you're gonna fucking activate this because But at that point, you have 3 in your extra deck.
Yeah.
Oh ooh! This is a sexy card.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Were
man.
you actually taking credit for it?
Why would he
Nothing.
not? Why would he not take? He just showed me this. Why would he not take credit for it? Cyber, go away.
Go gadgets helicopter.
Yeah, it's not like Pot of Riches, although that's kind of a fun card too, but
But it sucks.
I'd rather run Pendulum Halt than any Pendulum.
Yeah,
deck.
Pendulum Halt. Thank you for showing me this. I will run this at two maximum.
Yeah.
I will not be opening fucking 2 of these.
No, you wouldn't want to do that, man.
Like, okay, what do we have any like other discussion topics?
No, I did have the best hand trap, but we all know that's Ash.
Yeah.
So
We can argue. I mean, it can be argued whether Phantasma is better, because he is a protection negate, and once that he's summoned, you can like restructure your hand.
this isn't a real card.
I know.
But that's not really a hand trap. I think I don't actually classify Phantasma as a hand trap.
No.
He should, because he doesn't do anything to like prevent your opponent from doing anything. He's just there to help you get to your better resources.
Yeah.
Phantasma shouldn't be considered a hand trap.
Yeah,
Unpopular opinion.
I have a small discussion.
Okay.
There is a card in the anime called Sky Excalibur. Crow uses it in Arc 5. Do you know what it does?
Hell no.
So it's basically an equip card, and it allows the monster to gain 400 attack, and also it's unaffected by your opponent's card effects. But when this face-up card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Winged Beast Tuner in your graveyard and special summon it.
I would not run this. Because it's an equip card.
No, but like, for Black Wings, would you run it?
It really depends on the build, because you would want to equip this to like Armor Master, but people
Yes.
rarely run Armor Master.
you'd want to equip this to something you can link away.
Yeah,
Because
pretty much.
because it doesn't have to be destroyed, just has to be sent from the field.
Yeah.
But then again, it's an equip card.
Weirdly enough, equip cards are kind of slow, even though you
Yeah.
can play them directly from your hand.
Equip cards suck. There's no way to search them. Unless you're playing Hidden Armory, but then again, Hidden Armory also sucks.
Yeah, it's not.
Dude, do you have like a personal vendetta against the quick cards?
Yeah, for sucking, for being bad.
No.
Dude, acts of despair.
No, it's equip cards are like the physical manifestation of what old Yu-Gi-Oh was.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, it was just you would summon monsters and you would use spells and traps to boost your monsters and protect them. But as the game evolved, the monsters just became better and the spells and traps became weaker, mostly the traps. And so the game is really just monster land. Like, the perfect deck build way back when would be a 40-card deck with 20 monsters, 10 spells, and 10 traps. But now it's like sometimes you see decks with like 30 monsters and like 10 spells.
And then you got like Sekka's light builds. 37 monsters, 3 spells.
And then you have like super heavy samurais, which
Poggers!
With barely any spells.
yeah, you would only run a Sekka Slide in super heavy samurais. So.
Berserker Souls is underrated.
But like, could you imagine going to a tournament and somebody actually uses Swords of Revealing Light? How shocked would you be?
I would be,
I'd scoop right there. If a guy would drop Swords of Revealing Light on me, I'd think immediately this guy isn't afraid of anything.
Yeah, it's like that pact I made. If someone fucking summons a larva moth against me on a tournament, I'm forfeiting the game.
Yeah, that's actually funny you should mention that, because me and my friend have talked about this. Like, if someone would actually drop a perfectly ultimate great moth, that's an auto win right there.
Yes.
Like, if a player actually dedicated himself to summon this thing, he deserves the win. Yes. There's no debate about it.
Honor code 100.
Yeah, it should be. It's like if someone would It's like if someone would be playing a regular old deck, but he would still have the 5 pieces of Exodia, and he would hard draw into it. Like, remember in Yu-Gi-Oh when Weevil discarded Yugi's Exodia pieces?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he did Yugi a favor there. He made his deck more consistent. But that's the competitive deck builder in me talking.
Like
What?
back,
Wait, so it's basically, he threw out Yugi's Exodia and allowed him to summon Gazelle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like in the Seal of Our Calculus series, he always fused into Chimera.
Yeah.
Like in almost every single duel, he went to Chimera.
he just likes his beast porn, man. Come on.
No. He would summon Gazelle. He didn't summon Gazelle that often in Orichalcus. I think he only did it like once or twice.
Anyways, talking about like equip cards, there are like 2 good equip cards in the game right now.
But
Acts of Despair.
No. What, Moon Mirror Shield and...
No, actually, like Divine Sword Phoenix Blade,
Yeah.
and actually the Evil Eye equip card.
You know the equip
yeah.
card I think is underrated? Living Fossil.
It's the one that like brings back a level 4 lower from Grey, right?
And it drops it by 1,000, but that doesn't matter.
It doesn't negate its effects.
No.
We have Premature Burial back at 3.
Yeah. I run that in my hero deck. I play 5 equip cards, so by sending 4 with Isolde, and I always leave Living Fossil in my deck, so in case I draw it. But I love seeing that in my opening hand. It's the one equip card in that deck that can't recur itself because I run like Divine Sword and then I run Moon Mirror Shield and Horn of the Unicorn because they can just recur themselves, and it's okay to see them in your opening hand, especially Moon Mirror Shield and Horn of the Unicorn, because they just go back to the deck.
Yeah.
But Living Fossil, seeing that thing in my opening hand, it's such a sight for sore eyes. It's just Monster Reborn.
We literally, because we have Living Fossil, we have a scuffed Premature Burial back at 3.
Pretty much.
Do we have anything else like a topic to go through, or are we just chatting now?
Yeah, we're pretty much just chatting, but I want to drop something here because I think it's gonna be a fun end to this first episode. So we're just gonna go the circle here, starting with you, Mike. Favorite deck, and you can name two. You can name your favorite competitive deck and your favorite like deck stuff, like favorite deck ever, but mostly keep it to one or two.
Ooh, okay.
And you don't even have to own the deck. It's just like a favorite deck to play online or favorite deck just ever.
Ooh.
Stuff like this, but keep it to one or two.
Okay. Initiate big brain thinking time.
We'll be back in 5 hours.
This is where we take our short commercial break to tell you about this podcast sponsors. Heatab.
Who drank the last tea tap?
I'll kill you! Fuck, man. Okay, so, one of them, Burning Abyss. The lore, the artwork, the playstyle, the versatility. I adore this deck. Like, I've just finished building it now. I'm missing some extra deck cards, but like the main deck is completely built. I have a serviceable extra deck to like, you know, just to play with, and it's a going second build, which is a very like enjoyable way to play Burning Abyss while main decking 3 fucking round boys. So that's always that's an enjoyable time.
Spear.
Like I playtested my Endymions versus the Burning Abyss today, and like Burning Abyss won a surprising amount of times. It's just because like normal summon round boy. So Burning Abyss will be one of those decks, and I don't really know if I have a second. I might think about it.
Yeah.
Well, Cyber, we obviously, by your code name, we know what you're about to say. Bring out one of them.
Well, number 1 is my competitive deck, Cyber Dragons.
Cyber Dragon.
Yes, and then I actually have 2 decks that I actually enjoy playing.
Okay.
It is.
Are you trying to break the list here? Follow the rules.
Just let him speak.
Are you trying to take over my turn again? Alright. Well, my card is my Fiend deck that I own, and then I really enjoy playing Blackwings.
Wait, what? That's my deck.
Dude, you said decks that we enjoy playing online.
Oh yeah. Well, you stole mine, so now I'll have to think of something else. Thank you.
Now
You're welcome.
Okay. Now this just took a very as an Icelandic, a piripu turn. I think that my second favorite deck would be. I fucking had this. I swear to God, I had this.
Dinosaurs.
You know, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno was a good card.
Was?
What?
I said is.
I hate that card.
Who does it?
It should not be that easy to summon. I've said so many times, like, this card cannot be normal summon or set. Yeah, no one's gonna do that. It should have been this card can only be normal summon or set.
But then again, Double Evolution Build would just be run at 3.
Well, yeah, but that card hadn't come out yet, had it?
Yeah, I think like Konami just made a spelling mistake and just didn't want to fix
They
it.
just ran with it.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know, okay, I'm gonna, because I can't think of anything else at the moment, I'm gonna put dinosaurs on there.
Yeah.
Like, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is my fucking, I would commit bestiality with that thing.
That thing would kill you.
Yes.
I
It would put you in defense mode and take 1,000 life points away from you.
I would die a legend.
It would flip you face down. And then... Okay, I'm not gonna go into detail here. But...
And stomp on your bitch ass.
Alright, Nash. What is yours?
Well, you already stole one of it.
Yeah.
What, do you want me to take it back?
No, I'll just edit it out.
Aha!
Oh, you cuck.
No. Oh, that's also one of my favorite words, but the internet has ruined it.
Come on!
But, okay, so my all-time favorite deck would be 2 decks. That would be a deck I made. It's called Hybrid Heroes. It's an elemental hero deck. It's a full-on elemental hero deck. I spent 6 months perfecting that thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Online, and then trying to build it in real life. I'm still missing a Diane, but it's such a fun deck to play because it can be fun. It doesn't create like a beast of a board because it doesn't have negates and stuff like that, but the way it's set up is that it ends with a Dark Law and an Acid. No, it ends with a Dark Law and then Absolute Zero, and then if the opponent is gonna try to do any shenanigans, I just flip the mask change on Absolute Zero and place an Acid, so it just wipes. It's an on-command Raigeki and Heartbeat's Feather Duster, and with Dark Law on the field, that's just banished. So if you're trying to like make the duel less fun, you're punished for it. I really like healthy Yu-Gi-Oh playing. That's why I rarely build decks with many negates or disruptions. And then my second favorite deck is a deck that I've stood by for many years, and that will be Black Wings. I love this deck because it's really good going second, but if it's going first, again, it doesn't set up that many disruptions or negates. It builds up a strong board, and they can recur incredibly well back because it pluses really well, especially with Simoon basically just setting not setting it, instantly places Black Whirlwind face up, which means it actually gets past Naturia Beast, which is just such a good clause. And it's supposed to go to the graveyard during the end of the turn, but if you do the combo correctly, Zephyrus the Elite will be in your graveyard, so you can just bounce it back. And it's a really versatile deck, and like I said, it can come back from an incredibly like tragic position. Even though your board can get wiped, it comes back and summons your stronger monsters. And it's a really fun deck to play, and well, I'm pretty proud of the builds, but the reason Heroes is my favorite deck is because I grew up on most of the on the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I even saw the premiere of Yu-Gi-Oh GX episode 1 way back in 2004, and Jaden had been a favorite of mine since I was a kid, and I really loved the Elemental Heroes, so I just wanted to make like a really fair, playable Elemental Hero deck that could be the best of both worlds. Like, it could be competitive, but it could be also... The formula was, it should be a fun deck to play, and it should be a fun deck to play against. And that's how I mostly create my decks. I know it sounds like I'm just some, like, casual player or rogue, but I just like a good back and forth. I really enjoy a good back and forth.
Oh, believe me, you're not a casual player. You literally have plot armor on you. You literally can draw the 7th one as a top deck.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be in the deck.
Oh, okay, I found my actually second favorite deck.
Okay, go for it.
I'll remove dinosaurs from the list and put this in. You ever heard of this card? It's a really good card. It's a very good card. You ever heard of Judgment Dragon?
I'm gonna stop you.
Judgment Dragon, Light Sworns have been my one of my favorite decks now since I started building like the really shitty version of it.
Yeah.
They don't like me.
Yeah.
No, but the thing about Light Swords is it's a fun deck to play, and it's a fun deck to play against.
Yes.
There's nothing unfair about it.
Yeah.
The only unfair thing is Judgment Dragon is a good card.
Yeah. You know what? I just realized I never talked about my experience with that Orcus player.
Yeah, right. You were gonna talk about.
I just remembered it, and we spoke about that like an hour ago. So,
Yeah, we've been here for like almost 2 hours.
Can I finish on the whole Light Sworn thing?
yeah, go for it.
Light Sworns have been my favorite because it's a very, like a very luck of the draw kind of deck. I mean, you can open like very good because they have like very good cards. They have Charge of the Light Brigade. It does what the archetype is meant to do. It mills, but then it also searches. And you also want to search the Raiden or the Lumina if you're feeling frisky. They've got a good draw card. They've got Solar Recharge. And, Wolf is also a very good card.
Oh, but you know what? I activate Solar Recharge and draw 2 wolves.
Yeah, I play Raiden and mill 2 wolves. So
See, that's the difference between like a main character and what was what
My
was
turn,
it?
bitch. So, like, if you like, Light Swords is really kind of like an anime moment deck.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can literally just summon the Raiden, mill. If you mill a wolf, you've got a Minerva. Then you can just mill extra, and you like the aim of the game is to summon Judgment Dragon. It always has been, but like you've got so much good shit that you can mill to the graveyard, and if you get like a good mill cycle going, you've got like an amazing board. And I've been so heartbroken when they banned Fairy Tale Snow.
Yeah. Also, they have one of the best draw 2 cards in the game. So,
Yes,
but it's a closed archetype draw 2, but it's really good.
yes. The only thing that I would actually rather the draw card would have done, instead of discarding draw 2 mill 2, it should have been discard mill 2 draw 2. I feel like it should have been that way, because most of the time when I use this card, I draw the stuff I would rather have milled.
Yeah, that's a really fair point.
So, like, it's a very anime moment deck. It's got some cool artwork. It's got a lot of cool artwork, a lot of, like, the deck, the playstyle of it is also just a very cool concept.
Also, sorry I'm interrupting here, but Lightsworn is a really good deck to give to someone or teach someone when they're trying to get back into the game and just want, because it's not that hard of a deck to figure out, and it's also just really fun to play.
Exactly. Like they've got the Synchro monster. They've got the Xyz monster. They don't have a fusion, but they do have a link, and a very fucking good link monster at that. Like the summoning clause on it is like, you can get through it like fairly easily, but it's also a bit of annoying most of the time.
Yeah.
The fact that it's a link 3 that actually requires 3 monsters is kind of
Yeah,
like,
and also the fact that it's kind of it has that like 3 monsters link 3 type, and it has a link arrow that points up.
Yeah. It could have been a lot better, but it's a good that they didn't make it better, because it's actually a generic link monster.
Yeah, remember how I like redesigned it and I broke it?
Oh my god, yes.
Well, let's just not speak of
No, you tell them what I did. You tell them of my heinous crime.
It was okay. So Nashir, he made like a Yu-Gi-Oh script for his like own fan-made kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh story.
Yeah, so what we do is we design characters and stuff like that, and then we put the character sheets, and I take it all and I write a story outline, and then I write a script, and then we read it out loud together. And the main villain uses a Lightsworn deck, and we didn't want to use Master Rule 4 because we want to have that old school thing where we didn't want to have Link monsters, and we wanted to have the option of like 3-on-1 or 2-on-2 and stuff like that.
So
I had to figure out, how do I bring Curious into the mix?
what this fucker did was, so you can't have one blue card, so you have the other.
Yeah.
He made Curious a ritual monster, but then he had to invent a ritual spell since Lightsworns don't have one. So this fucker made Curious. What level was he again? Like 7 or 8?
8.
He was 8. You would activate the ritual spell, and he would summon Curious, but you can use tribute monsters for the ritual summon from your deck. You could literally mill 2 wolves, summon the Curious, the wolves would be summoned, and the Curious would mill like a 3rd wolf or a fucking Fearless. You've got 4 monsters on the field after using 1 card.
I regret nothing. And also, it could be like searchable by pre-preps.
Exactly.
Oh my, yes.
Fucking anime glasses intensify.
Yeah. I seriously broke the card. Like, if I had been designing that thing on my computer, word just exploded. Can you imagine if you could customize card and put them in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro? It would crash.
Yes. Like I like some fuckers would be like, discard 1 card, you win the duel.
Yeah.
It would probably get like, I special summon Steve in attack mode.
Yeah, like my Takeover 5 card. Remember that thing? Take over 5. Mill the top 5 cards of your deck, and for each monster, you win the duel. It's like, what? What? Yeah, but are you done with the Light
Yeah,
Sworn Sword?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
Get back to the Orcus thing.
Okay, I'm just gonna finish this whole thing with the Orcus story. This is why the time rules are nonsense, because in a match you have 40 minutes, and the Orcus player went first in game 1. The whole first game out of 3 was 31 minutes. Yeah, the first game he won, and then I sped through game 2, and I actually won that. So he got to take the first turn again in game 3, where there were like 2 minutes left on the clock. He was still going through his turn 1 when they called time, and that created a bunch of nonsense. So that was like it's so unfair when I play a deck that takes 2 minutes to go through a turn, and his takes like 15.
That's like another reason why I hate Orcus. Like, okay, you do some cool stuff, but you take just a really fucking long time to do it, don't you prick?
Yeah.
Like the concept of the Orcus archetype is cool. Like, you've got this, you get your resources by banishing stuff from the graveyard and recurring it just to banish it again and get more resources.
Also, they have a painful choice in archetype card. What was it called again? It's
World
like,
Legacy Survival, I think.
It's so broken.
Or just Survivor. Like, you mill 5 and you can
you reveal the top 5.
Yeah, you reveal the top 5 and you add an excavated World Legacy card to your hand, which would most often be Wand.
Yeah, or Succession.
Yeah, so... And did you shuffle the rest back, or did you just mill the
No,
entire thing?
they go in the grave.
Yeah, right. It's a painful choice. Like,
Yeah, what did I say?
yeah, no, you said it was a painful choice.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I misspoke there.
Like, Orcus, you're a cool deck, and you'd be a lot cooler if you didn't take an eternity to whip your fucking dick out.
No, here's the thing. Most people have been complaining about the time rules, and some people want like a chess clock, which just wouldn't work. Here's my idea: stopwatch. Like, you get an extra amount of minutes, and when the turn starts, you click the stopwatch. And people say the chess clocks wouldn't work because of all the disruptions and like hand traps and stuff like that. Yeah, if you have a stopwatch, you can just click it off. It's not that hard. Just have a judge over there with a stopwatch. Click it on. You get 5 minutes. Or what was it? What did I say? Was it 5 minutes or did I say 3?
You said
5.
Yeah, 5.
5 minutes. That's all you get. Your turn should not be this long. and that's my heated rant on that thing. Stopwatches, seriously. I know that would be like you would have to have a million judges around, but a stopwatch, it would not kill the game. So
Like, the stopwatch should especially be included when you get to, like, the feature matches.
yeah,
You know, the top 64 games.
definitely.
Like, because the entire fucking North American World Championship qualifier was just stall for time.
No, I get having the time rules for a big event when it's like 1,000 players or more, like, but as soon as you get to the top 64 or even the top 32, a stopwatch is necessary.
Like, there's this meme going on now because of the North American qualifiers. There was this guy who checked his graveyard 15 times during his turn.
Wait, 15 times?
15 fucking
Why?
times. Because he was stalling. The fucker was trying to win via time. 15 times.
Like, dude. No one has to check the grave that. Also, that's kind of a thing. If you're playing in a tournament, you should know what fucking cards you have in your deck.
Like, just the entire time rule thing has been a mess ever since it was fucking changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Konami haven't changed it back and why they're not willing to change it back. Like, sure, it lowers the cost of all the tournaments because you're, like, running it for a shorter amount of time. But do you want to pay less money or do you want to have your game, you know, be enjoyed?
There was someone who said, I think it was Farfa. I think it was Farfa that said that it should be 50 minutes. The time should be 50 minutes, so we have the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 40 minutes, and then the last 10 minutes, it's just, if you can't get through this in the last 10 minutes, sorry.
Yeah.
So that should honestly be the thing. The last 10 minutes are so detrimental. And also, I don't think it's a rude move to tell your opponent to play faster.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I
like
don't.
it's like, especially with like the new hygiene rules.
Yeah.
Like it should not be rude to call the judge because your opponent fucking stinks.
Yeah. Now, also,
oh my god, yeah.
also the way we prep for our like locals or something, we use stopwatches to test how long our turns take
Yeah.
because we want to get through this.
We don't want like we have an honor code of not waiting and trying to stall for time. We want to actually like play through the duel.
Yeah. There's no stalling here. It's just we just play it through it, and I think what was the record, like slightly under 2 minutes?
Like for a match.
No,
For turn.
I was just going for the turn.
Yeah.
count here.
Okay.
I think it was slightly under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I think the longest match with our stopwatches was like 10, 11 minutes. What? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that was like with the stopwatches and a lot of disruptions and stuff. But the stopwatch thing really, really worked.
Mm.
And also, if I had the stopwatch, I would tell like, dude, speed it up.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta speed it up. You got 5 minutes left.
So, this has been an enjoyable podcast experience.
Yeah.
Like,
This
Yeah.
is a really long one.
what do we got? 2.5?
Yeah, we have 2 hours here.
Damn.
And this is an unedited thing. This is a whole thing. I'm not gonna edit any of this. This is
Fuck
just in a
yes.
live section,
Holy crap.
Hell yeah.
and it's gonna take so long to put up online.
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was it for what, Top Deck City.
Top Deck
Top
City,
Deck
boys.
City.
All right, that's it. And
For the final word, Maxi!
no, we're not gonna end it on there.
Shit!
No.
Darwin Stevenson, why have you forsaken me?
No.
Okay, what are we gonna end it on?
What are we gonna end it on?
Just like, what?
We're just gonna scoop.
We're gonna...
We're gonna scoop.